Welcome back. In this lesson, we're talking about threat actors, the people behind the attacks. You'll learn who they are, what they want, how they do what they do, and most importantly, how to think like them so you can better protect your systems. Let's jump into it. Here are some key terms you'll hear a lot: vulnerability, threat, and risk. A vulnerability is a weakness, something attackers could use against you. Think open ports, bad actors, or missed patches. A threat is the person or thing that could take advantage of that weakness. And risk? That's the result. How likely is a threat to succeed, and how bad would it be if they do? I find that a lot of my students have a hard time defining the word risk. So let's take a quick detour to define the word. If I were to break it down to two words, I would define risk as potential damages. To use an analogy, think of a water dam. I want you to imagine the dam protecting a small town from being flooded. The security control in this scenario is the dam itself. Because it holds the water back, we can consider the water as the threat in this case. If the water broke through a crack in the dam, the crack being a vulnerability, the town will flood, causing property damages and personal safety issues. I hope that detour helps some people that struggle with understanding the term risk. In short, vulnerability plus threat equals risk. So what are the threat actors? Threat actors come in many forms, and not all of them are cyber ninjas. You have internal threat actors. These are people that already have access to your system. I'm talking about employees, vendors, or partners who misuse their access. And then you have your external threat actors. These are folks that don't have access. They're trying to break in, remotely or physically. Now let's talk skill level. Some attackers just use off-the-shelf tools. These are tools you can buy and are ready to go. Others are building custom malware, designing phishing campaigns, or working with military precision. The more skilled they are, the more dangerous they are. Then there's funding. A lone hacker might have time but no money. A nation-state group, they've got cash, talent, and tech, and that makes a difference. So what motivates these threat actors? Why do they do it? Some just want to cause chaos. Back in the day, hackers would deface websites or launch worms just to make a name for themselves. Now, these type of attacks come from people seeking revenge or making a political point. Money is a big motivator. Common financial motivated attacks include blackmail, extortion, fraud. Politics is another driver. Hacktivists go after companies because they have political oppositions to them. Nation states run long-term campaigns to spy on enemies. They steal secrets or they disrupt elections. Some employees might act out of ethics. Whistleblowers expose a wrongdoing from the inside. Let's talk about the tactics that some of these threat actors take. The goal usually tie into one of three major categories. Service disruption. This is when the systems are taken down or locked up. It could be ransomware or what we call denial of service attacks. Either way, they make the service unavailable. And then you have data exfiltration. This is a fancy term for stealing data. The attacker copies sensitive information and either sells it, uses it for leverage, or leaks it. And then you have disinformation. This is where an attacker alters or spreads false information. They might change the website content, send fake messages, or use bots to manipulate public opinion. Have you noticed each of these connect to a part of the CIA triad? Can you guess which one? Exfiltration hits confidentiality. Disinformation hits integrity. Disruption, well, that's availability. I want you to understand that threats can be structured or opportunistic. Structured threats are targeted. They're planned, strategic, and carried out with a goal, like a crime group going after financial data. Opportunistic threats are random. Maybe someone blasted out a virus to a list they bought online and just hope it lands somewhere useful. Sometimes attackers are just experimenting or poking around. But when you know the difference, you can better prepare. In this video, we learned that to defend a system, you need to understand who might come after it, why, and how. Here's a quick recap. Vulnerabilities are weaknesses in your system. Threat actors are the people trying to exploit them. Motivations include chaos, money, or politics. Tactics include disrupting services, stealing data, and spreading misinformation. Risk is the result of a threat actor successfully exploiting a vulnerability. The more you understand this, the stronger your security assessment will be. See you in the next one.